Was an absolute masterclass by one of the greatest players in the history of the NBA, in the history of basketball, regardless of what level we're talking about. Stephen Wardell Curry. Is the resume complete? Can we expect maybe one more moment of glory? That's what I've been fighting for. Every time I advocate for the Warriors to do something better, it's because I want more and better things for Stephen Curry. But what a performance today. Rick Barry is going to join me in just a moment for a very brief moment. Better little than nothing. And in the meantime, I want to hear from everyone in the chat. If you folks want to just come on and celebrate a glorious day for the country, for Steph fans, just for basketball fans in general, this was fun. Stephen Curry gets gold. Let's get into it. It's the golden days.
They always find something to nitpick, and that's because there's expectations for us to win. It was a pretty crazy night.
Woo! Let's go!
In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up. Come on and break me off. 'Cause I get what I want and I like what I see.
Oh, Rick Barry's in the house. Here we go. I still feel like shit. Oh, boy. All right, welcome to the Golden Days. I am Cyrus Saatsaz. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at Dog Wild, over on Twitter at Surf Journalist. Hall of Famer Rick Barry. Let me bring him. Oh, he's in already. You can follow him on all social media platforms at Rick24Barry. Rick, a pleasure to see you, sir. Your immediate reaction to Stephen Curry.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
taking the moment,
special.
winning gold.
Yeah, he's just such a special player, and obviously he only had two really good games in the entire Olympics, but he certainly had them at the right time in the semifinals and the finals. But yeah, that's why I tell people when I pick teams to say, if I had to play on a team and play against anybody wants, I'm picking as my point guard. I said it's a hard choice because there were so many great ones: Oscar, Magic, whatever, Steve Nash. I mean, you can go on down the list of the great point guards. If it's a 3-point shot, part of the rules, how do you not play with Steph Curry? I mean, you just have to. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the last 3-pointer he made, those two guys, was absolutely sick. Yeah, he's very special, and I was happy for the team. And even my wife and I said when we were watching, it's just so great to see these guys so emotional and so excited about what they accomplished and have it mean so much to them. So I was really pleased with that.
Did it cross your mind at all, Rick, that for the first time, at least in this country, the rest of Americans got to experience what Dub Nation has been experiencing for the last 15 years?
All right.
Just exuberance, joy, great. I mean, you named the superlatives. It makes sense. I mean, this was a thrill to watch. Anything stick out to you besides the fact that when the game got really close to the end there was Stephen Curry to save the day?
Well, I mean, it just shows you how the quality of play in the world has improved dramatically. But as you look at all of these teams that they played against, they have NBA guys from their countries who have played in the NBA, who have elevated the play throughout the world over the last couple of decades. And this is what they wanted when FIBA decided to put the original Dream Team in Barcelona. That was the vision of Boris Stankovic, who was the guy that wanted to put him in. Everybody thought he was crazy. He says, no, the only way we're going to catch up is to have the best and play against the best. And this is what's happened. The United States is very fortunate to win a couple of these games in the Olympics. So it's great for the game of basketball. It's great that the competition is at a high level, because who wants to watch somebody win 120-60? I mean, come on, this is so much more exciting.
It is. The last two games were nail biters, no doubt. This game felt like it was comfortable until the end there, and then France started making a run. Going the other side, I want to give Steph his accolades as due, because he accomplished the one remaining accomplishment, sorry to be redundant there, on his resume. I don't know if there's any holes left, but the other side of it, like, what was your impression? Oh, sorry, am I?
Well, I'm getting, that's my wife walking behind me. We're going to go for a bike ride, but I'm getting, you're breaking up a lot on me, but hopefully you're hearing me clearly. But Steph, I think, stated it perfectly, how much it meant to him. And he came through when he needed to come through. And that's what, great players have a way of doing that. And certainly he's one of the greatest to ever play the game. But what happened is he pointed it out. you can never take anything for granted in the game. You basically have to continue to do what you're doing. He said they turned the ball over, which has been a nemesis for the Warriors, as we know, for a long time. But here, we're some of the greatest players ever, and they had a difficult time being able to, put the game away. And they not only did they turn it over, he even said they took a lot of quick shots. When you have the lead, you don't take quick, tough shots. You try to work the clock. You make the other team play defense. You go to the line. You get to the free throw line. You take easy, good, high quality shots. And they didn't do that, and they got themselves in trouble. And thank goodness Steph came through with 4 huge 3-point shots down the stretch when they really needed them. So congratulations to everybody, the coaching staff, USA Basketball, all of the people who supported them, and all of the players for their contribution to bringing the gold home for the United States and continue the streak of winning gold medals on a continual basis. So very happy for all of those guys, especially for Steph, who I hold in such high regard.
I feel like if you're a decent human being, and or if you're a fan of basketball, I'm sorry I'm breaking up on you, Rick. I'll let you go in a second here.
Cyrus, whatever the problem is, I'm on Wi-Fi here, but you're breaking up terribly, so I'll let you continue with your show. I hope you feel better. Hope everybody's enjoying the summer. And if you couldn't enjoy these last 2 games that the United States played, then don't watch basketball anymore.
You eloquently put, sir.
All right, I'll see you. I got to run. I can't. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, and there was Hall of Famer Rick Barry, who again had some Wi-Fi issues. He was coming to us from his phone. And honestly, folks, this is going to be a very short show today, just because. And I apologize for not being here for the last few days. I've been battling. I've had food poisoning 5-6 times in my life, I think. This one was rough. It was sort of get graphic, but I've never experienced the type of projectile vomiting that if you're an old school movie fan and saw The Exorcist, it was that level. I've never done that before. I'm not saying that in a bragging manner. I'm just trying to relay to you how badly I'm suffering here. I'm profusely sweating, which is maybe if this is not coming through in HD, that's a good thing. But I also want to highlight the chat, OMG _ it's Manny or _ Manny. If you do the donations, I will obviously highlight you. This is a business. Simply stating, Stephen Curry, Olympics finals MVP. Absolutely, man. He should be. I don't know if they have an MVP for that. I wanted to talk to Rick about 2 things, and I'm going to cover this. And while we're going to be on the air, I'm going to put the link to the chat in case anyone wants to come on and just revel, celebrate, have a differing opinion, whatever you want to talk about, whatever's on your mind. You can join the program. Keith Willis saying, what if Stephen Curry doesn't get MVP? Would it be the biggest injustice? Again, I don't know. Do the Olympics have MVPs? I apologize for the naivety on my part, but I actually don't know. One thing that I don't remember knowing this. I don't remember this being a part of the international game until watching today's USA-France gold medal match. But I was interested in seeing the lack of interference calls and the fact that in international play, there is no basket interference. I kind of like that rule. It reduces a lot of complications, a lot of iffiness, a lot of 50-50 calls we have regarding players going up, fighting for loose balls that are near the cylinder, right? In international play, they've simplified that. There's no call. Wemby was up there getting so many easy buckets because the ball was just hanging on the rim. He's just like, bloop, and finished it. Keith Willis also saying that Jordan got an MVP. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out, and I'll obviously announce it on a future show when I'm in better condition and can be more astute myself and more on it. But I wanted to highlight real fast the international play part of it, in the sense that I want that rule in the NBA. I want that basket interference calls to be gone. If people if people are big enough and tall enough to be up there, now I'm not saying eliminate goaltending, and I think those are 2 very separate things, but get rid of the basket interference. Screw it. I don't understand why that rule still exists in the NBA, to be honest. I like that facet of international play. I wanted to ask Rick as well about Wemby. 20-year-old kid. This was his first Olympics. He pushed Team USA to the end. If it wasn't for the heroics of someone named Stephen Curry. France, the French, most synonymous with the white flag. No offense, French people. It's a joke. There's always some truth to jokes. World War II. But I digress. If it wasn't for Stephen Curry's heroics, yeah, there would be another gold medal winner. Wemby, who is shedding tears out there. I love when players care that much, man. I love when athletes and individuals show they have heart. That's awesome to me. But yeah, Stephen Curry's heroics denied Wemby, gave USA gold. I do hope Keith Willis and everyone else that he does win the MVP if they do actually award that. And right now, the athletes are on the podium. I'm watching on my television set. France is celebrating the silver before USA is up there with the gold. 5th straight gold medal for Team USA. And D57 adding that France will get better. With the current number 1 pick in the NBA, who was just drafted at number 1. He's also from France. And this leads to, I think, the bigger topic. And this is where if anyone wants to jump on with me, they can. Otherwise, we'll keep this show short and sweet. Watching Stephen Curry play these last 2 games, watching him rise to the occasion, watching him remind the world that he is still one of, if not the best players in the game. To watch an individual who adapted to the international play and then some. At 36, still going strong. Is it fair for the Warriors to not go all out for him? That's the question I pose to you, the audience, right now, before I call it a wrap and go back to feeling like I have 105-degree fever one second and then I'm freezing to death the next second. That's literally how I'm feeling. Is it fair? And this has been the whole premise of this program and the previous iteration of this for the last 3+ years. I want a roster around Stephen Curry that gives him a fighting chance to win a title. In 2022, the Warriors did that. They surrounded Steph with length. They surrounded Steph with shooting. The Warriors proved, and more specifically, Bob Myers proved, you don't need to surround him with necessarily all-stars, but you need to surround him with athleticism, with talent. That team at size. And when I say size, I'm not talking about 7-footers, but I'm talking about a lot of dudes that are like 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". Do not forget the Warriors don't win the title in 2022 without Otto Porter Jr. They've never replaced him. They've never replaced Jordan Poole. Chris Paul was a very poor excuse for a Jordan Poole replacement. I don't know if it's anyone's fault that Poole's game regressed, but Stephen Curry needs help. And when you hear me complaining, if that's how you want to label it, I call it analysis or critique, but, to each your own. It's because of Stephen Curry. It's because I believe in this guy. It's because I value him for being one of the greatest to ever exist. Not just in basketball. The dude is just a phenomenal human being. And yeah, selfishly, I want him to retire a member of the Golden State Warriors. He's that special to this region, to this organization, to this fan base. Dominic Lion 75 writes, we have it with Wiggins and Kuminga. If you're going to bring up Wiggins, why are you ignoring the last 2 years? Why do you and so many others delusionally think he's just going to magically get better this year? Agreed. If he gets back to that 22 level, maybe. But it's a huge if. And why leave it to chance like that? Why leave it to the hope? Never mind the fact that the team is trying to trade him. But all I'm saying is help this man, okay? Like, he can still play. He can still deliver. He's still that special of an individual. And do not surround him with a team that is just full of guards and wings. Surround him with athletic, bigger individuals who will make life easier for him. Douglas Mikes, another person. Wiggins can get back to 2022 level. How do you know that? What do you base that on? Let's abandon delusions here. Let's abandon wishful thinking here and apply some pragmatism. Andrew Wiggins in 10 years had one good season, 2022. He had some other years where he had statistically decent numbers in terms of scoring and whatnot, but those were on horrible teams with lousy shooting percentages. His one phenomenal year, great year, was 2022. And every season he's been a member of the Warriors, his scoring output has declined. Loop every year. And Douglas Mikes, I don't even agree that he was good his first season. He was okay. I don't remember seeing anything from him in that play-in game against the Lakers or the Grizzlies. Again, let's abandon delusions, please. Stick to reality. Stick to pragmatism. Eris Creed writing that, asking what my thoughts are about the idea that the main reason Larry Markkanen didn't work out because Larry wanted to stay in Utah to make that money. No, I think it was just ultimately Danny Ainge wanted too much. I think that's just literally what it came down to. And then it comes down to a debate of if it was Podziemski, and now there's a lot of reports out there saying that Podziemski not being included in the deal was a primary holdup. Then the debate comes out to whether or not Podziemski was worth it. And that's a question that nobody can answer until a year, 2, 3 years from now. Joe Lacob decided to double down on the strategy he pulled with Bob Myers, with Jerry West. They were all involved in it. It was not a Jerry West or bust decision back when the team decided not to trade Klay Thompson for Kevin Love. So Joe Lacob probably went down that line of reasoning and thought to himself, are we going to do this again? Where we're trading another young piece of ours that could turn into something great for someone who's a sure thing, but may have a lower ceiling. AB Prep Boy 33 writing, Lowry did sign a day later. Ainge didn't force him to do that. No, but Lowry didn't have the power to stay in Utah either. Lowry did not have any power to decide what team he was going to play for. If Utah was going to trade him, Utah was going to trade him. And there's no indication that Lauri Markkanen would not have signed an extension with the Warriors. Find me that report, and then maybe we can, expand on that. But And Dr. J30 brings up the whole big thing. And again, there are levels to this, okay? There are a lot of different variables to this when we talk about bigs. I'm not sitting here clamoring for 7-footers. What I am clamoring for is not a shitload of 6'3 dudes, 6'4 dudes. Give me some 6'7, 6'8, 6'9 guys. Kyle Anderson, good start. He can't shoot the ball worth a lick, though. But it's a good start. But just help Steph. Just help Steph. And Apri Betboy, he signed. You're right. But again, that doesn't address the bigger picture here. How do you know he wouldn't have signed if they traded him to the Warriors? He had no say in that. Of course he signed. It was like $200 million. Who the hell wouldn't sign that? It does that. I don't understand what your point is. And no, Apri Prep Boy, if he did not sign, he would, again, I guess your premise is like he could have not signed and put up and risked a lot of money on the table so that he could decide where to play next year. It's like, no, what? I mean, as an individual, why would he take that risk? That's ridiculous. All he had a say in is whether or not he was going to sign a contract extension. He did not have a say in terms of being traded or staying. Stay in reality, AP Prep Boy. Those are two entirely different discussions. Bottom line, if the Warriors, if the Jazz were going to trade him, they could have. If the Warriors wanted him, according to reports, all they had to do was include Brandon Podziemski, and Lauri Markkanen would have been a member of the Warriors. Didn't happen. Okay. But please give me a plan B. Help Stephen Curry out. Demonic Lion 75 writes. And I really hate the fact that and look, I'm not trying to hate on people being super positive in here and saying, you're rooting for the Warriors. That's your team. I get that. You want them to be successful. I get that. Like Demonic Lion 75 writes, we're a top 6 seed this year if we play like we should. Maybe, but what do you base that on? They were a play-in team last year, and for whatever improvements they made this offseason by signing those 3 players, the entire Western Conference, except for maybe Portland, I think they're going to be better too. Improved. And a lot of those teams improved at a greater rate than the Warriors did. I'm not trying to be pessimistic here. I'm not trying to be a hater here. And I've said this before. Okay, this is no news. I selfishly want Stephen Curry to get number 5. I feel like and I don't know if you want to consider this a bold statement or not, but I feel like if this organization had made better decisions throughout the course of these past 10 years, maybe some of that is the front office, maybe some of that is coaching, they would have at least 5 and not 4 titles right now. That's the whole reason why I don't just kiss Steve Kerr's ass like most other media members do. AC says some teams got worse too. Who? Denver, who's still astronomically better than the Warriors? Who else? Who else in the West got worse? The Clippers? Okay. You just named like 1, maybe 2 teams. Houston got better. San Antonio got better. Memphis got better. Literally everyone else got better. Pelicans got better. Yeah, no, I see you in the chat. I said the Clippers. Okay, you named 1 team. And I just named 3, 4, maybe 5 who also got better. AC. Memphis didn't get better. A team that did not have John Morant last year, the whole year, who didn't have Brandon Clark the whole year, who basically just threw in the towel last season, who has Gigi Jackson, who as a rookie was pretty damn good. He's only going to get better. Come on, man. Come on. And for Douglas Mikes and Kevin McClain, who are writing the Lakers got worst, maybe. But let me ask you this. When have you ever seen the Warriors since LeBron James got to the Lakers? When have you ever seen the Warriors have the upper hand? And what makes you think this year is going to magically change? The Warriors don't have the personnel to match up with the Lakers front court. I'm actually really glad you brought the Lakers up because that has been the fulcrum, what should have been the focus for how the Warriors should have been constructing this team to improve. How do we overcome the Lakers? They have no way of matching up defensively with both AD and LeBron when those two are out there. Austin Reeves, for some reason, Steve Kerr always puts Stephen Curry defensively on Austin Reeves, a guy who's much bigger than him. It's a gross mismatch. Kevin McClain, in 2022, the Warriors and Lakers didn't play each other. I'm talking about when they actually had head-to-head matchups, man. And again, if you honestly believe the Warriors right now are better than the Lakers right now, agree to disagree. Because you're right. In 2022, the Warriors won the title. In 2023, the Lakers were in the Western Conference Finals while the Warriors lost to that same Lakers team. David Durfee, I'm glad you're flipping it back on a positive spin. Stephen Curry ain't the GOAT anymore. He's the golden GOAT now. Dude, that was incredible. That's all I want. I just want this team to surround Stephen Curry with talent to make them a competitor. Stephen Curry said something very interesting after the semifinal when they beat Serbia. And I really wish I could play the sound clip, but NBC, and I've heard a couple people talking about how Round Ball Rock has made his return with the Olympics being on NBC. NBC's getting the NBA back a year from now. NBC, formerly the home of the NBA. Although the Jordan dynasty was almost exclusively on NBC, obviously with some TNT coverage in there as well. But the point is, the Round Ball Rock theme is back. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about that, how awesome it is. I agree. I think it's nostalgic stuff. It's great. The whole reason I bring it up is because NBC, who's owns the media rights to the Olympics, they are being so rigorous in terms of copyright violations. You cannot post a thing from these Olympics, at least when it comes to video coverage. I think photos is a little harder to flag down, but the reason why I bring that up is because I wanted to play the sound of this audio where Stephen Curry said this line, and I hated hearing him say this. And I'll read the quote verbatim because, again, I can't play the clip because if I play the clip, NBC will flag me for copyright. So the quote was this, and this was again following the semifinal game between the USA and Serbia. And Steph was being interviewed after the game, and he said this quote. Here he goes. Quote, I just kind of got lost in the moment of understanding how big this stage is and what's at stake for this team. This is the most fun I've had in a very long time. To dig deep like we did with this group and get a win, it's special. Let me repeat the part, unquote. Let me repeat the part of that quote that sticks out to me. As a Stephen Curry advocate, color me biased if you will. This is the most fun I've had in a very long time. Let me say that one more time again. This is the most fun I've had in a very long time. I hate hearing that from Steph. Because what that means is that these recent years of the Warriors have not been fun. And that sucks. Surround Stephen Curry with bigger players, with more athletic players. Take some of the pressure off of him. Please. I interviewed Stephen Curry in the 2022 season when they won the title. And that year, even though I was predicting the whole season they were going to win the chip, largely because of two reasons. One, they constructed a fantastic roster around Steph, borderline perfect. And two, the landscape was perfect for that Warriors team to get through the playoffs and win a chip. And since then, for some reason, like I just all I want. Oh, Laura, thank you for joining me. I haven't seen you in a long time. I want you to join the show, Laura Doan, please. Okay, let's have you on the program. You're one of my favorite human beings on this planet. But my point is, help the man out. All right, help the man out. I was going to go on a tangent there. I'm still have lingering food poisoning. I apologize. I'm not 100%, but. And then like Demonic Lion 75 writes that the starting lineup is going to be Steph, Pods, Wiggins, Kuminga, and Dre. That's athletic. And again, this is where it's a difference of philosophy. Like, to me, if you want to compete in today's NBA, you should be looking at Wiggins as a 2. You should be looking at Kuminga as nothing more than a 3. You need to have, like if you look at that lineup, for example, Steph, Pods, Wiggins, Kuminga, Dre. First of all, if you're going with a lineup like that, you have a lot of players on your bench who are never going to see playing time. Like, I don't know where Gary Payton II fits in. I don't know where Kevon Looney fits in. I don't know where DeAnthony Melton fits in. I don't know where Lindy Waters fits in. I'm forgetting Buddy Hield. I mean, I know they're bench players, but there are only, we've done a show about this before, and I'll do it again if you want. There are only, for each position of the 5 positions, you have 48 minutes. And if you have a starting 5 like that, you're wasting money on a lot of players who are not going to see any time. And more importantly, with that lineup right there, if you're playing the Lakers, who's scaring LeBron? You saw how many times in these Olympics he just drove to the basket, drove his shoulder down, and scored the easiest 2 points ever. If you're a Warriors fan, you saw that time and again every time the Lakers beat the Warriors. Who in that lineup is going to stop Anthony Davis? First of all, Trace Jackson Davis should be starting, so that's why I don't know if that lineup would even happen. You need height. You need athleticism. Give me a Cam Johnson. Hell, give me anybody, man. Just give me some goddamn size. I want help for Steph. And Armando Laura saying Wiggins can guard LeBron as well as anyone. I don't really remember that in all of the instances where LeBron schooled him in every playoff matchup. So I don't see it. Agree to disagree, I guess. And then Henry Braxton in the chat writes, I've been a Warriors fan 40 years. Look at you, brother. Since Davidson. Great interview the other day, by the way, where Stephen Curry was talking about his Davidson days. It wasn't the other day. It was actually 2 months ago. It was on that Hot Wings show where a question was asked about Steph's early career and how different it would have been if he played for, let's say, Duke or North Carolina instead of Davidson. And he loved the question, which I always get a kick out of. And then he answered that his 3 years at Davidson formed him as the player he is today because of the freedom he had, because of the playing time, because of the experience, because of the coaching. It was great stuff. It was phenomenal. Just when I saw Davidson, it just reminded me of that. Highly recommend if you haven't seen it. I think the show is called Hot Ones. It's the one where the super spicy chicken wings and the guy asks questions in the meantime. And as you're watching the people suffer, unless you're Vince Vaughn, who is a Hall of Famer and nailed it. See, Era's Creed, by the way. See, you're my kind of people in terms of mentality and basketball. Dream lineup. Steph, Kuminga, Wiggins, Draymond, Trace Jackson Davis. You're starting 5. 100% agree. I think, and this is where maybe it's a difference of philosophy between folks like us and then folks like Steve Kerr, who still think you can, roll out there a band of hobbits and magically succeed in the NBA, even though, speaking of delusions, that's at the pinnacle of it. Some people will criticize you with that lineup by saying, well, you lack spacing. Wiggins is an okay three-point shooter. He'll space it out a little bit. But I think the reason why this works is for whatever you lose with three-point shooting, which you're still going to get, because Kuminga is going to surprise a lot of people this year in that stat. My prediction for Kuminga this year as a three-point shooter is he'll be 38%. He did it 2 years ago. It's not out of the realm of possibility. He was a 37.5% three-point shooter 2 years ago. Last year, it dipped to, I think, 32. And then as a career three-point shooter, he's 34. These aren't bad numbers, all right? Like 33 is the Mendoza line. You keep it above 33, you're doing okay. And again, people will criticize this lineup for the lack of spacing, but those same people will fail to recognize that spacing doesn't apply just to three-point shooting. It also applies to individuals who can penetrate with phenomenal effectiveness like Jonathan Kuminga does, like Andrew Wiggins sometimes does, of which he did it with more consistency. So I'm with you. Jeffrey, the creator, saying Kerr is horrible with rotations. Yeah, you're absolutely right. AP Prep Boy, I think you're bringing up Kuminga and a contract extension because there was a report out there from that Jake Fisher of Yahoo. I'm still not at a point with Jake Fisher where I'm trusting everything he says. I still have no idea where he even came from. I think he was a Bleacher Report guy. That dude drops a lot of sources said. Unless he's established phenomenal connections with the same agents that Shams and Woj have. I'm not at a point where I'm fully trusting all his reports, but I'm not saying he's lying either. It takes a while for me to trust people. It's called establishing credibility. But the point is, you're bringing that up, I think, because of the Jake Fisher report that Jonathan Kuminga wants a max extension. And I agree with you. First of all, that's not happening. If that's true, Kuminga, I know you want the bag, just like Mike Lowry did. But realistically, Kuminga is going to need to prove this year that he's worth it. And then you have Douglas Mikes in the chat bringing up a name I completely forgot in all this discussion, Moses Moody. God damn, that's how many guards and wings there are on this team. That it's just you forget like important players. It is a mess. It's a huge mess. Anyways, I don't want to be negative, man. I'm done being negative. Let's just be positive and talk about Steph and how great of a player he is. How lucky we are you're like me and you love the Warriors, that we've been watching this guy on our team for the last 15 years. And what we watch today is a player who is still at the peak of his powers. He might not be as good as he was, when he was unanimous MVP, but if he's like 98% of that, I'll take it. I'll still roll with that and pursue a title. Congratulations, Stephen Curry. Has anyone seen the show yet, by the way? It's over on Peacock. My mom has been pushing me to watch it. She actually says it's a legit sitcom, like a good comedy. I think the premise of the sitcom, I forgot the name of it, is that Stephen Curry and one of his high school buddies that he played basketball with, Steph plays himself in the sitcom, which is awesome. So you don't have to deal with like the overacting or all that stuff. He's playing himself. He's Larry David, but he's Stephen Curry. And he's playing himself, helping out his high school buddy who has hit a rough patch, I guess. That's the premise of the show. So if anyone's seen that show, let me know. I'd love to get your feedback. I'm going to watch it myself. I feel like we can never have enough humor in our lives. Oh, by the way, OMG_it's_Manny. Just because you paid for a post, I'm going to repeat it. Stephen Curry, Olympic Finals game MVP. Absolutely, brother. Yeah, Touch of Madness. I forgot the name of the show too. That's why I'm asking the chat if anyone can bring it up. It's over on Peacock. I want to get some feedback on that. I want reviews. Zazzy Zeal Zest in the chat is writing, is Quentin Post a two-way player now? Not to my knowledge. That's the only way at this point the Warriors can add him. And then I don't know if Pat Spencer, I don't know if Reese Beekman, I don't know if Daquan Plowden. I don't know which one of those three are the ones that are going to lose their job if that happens. The third option is Quentin Post doesn't get a deal at all, except for a G League deal. And then he spends the whole year in Santa Cruz. That's another possibility. And that's just a colossal waste. I mean, considering the team needs that size. No, AC. I don't know what this is. AC writes, did you see that video of when Kobe's high school point guard showed up to his press conference? No, I don't know. If you can elaborate, I don't know. No, I don't know what you're talking about there. I'm sorry. I guess that's it. We went 37 minutes for someone struggling with food poisoning. Thank you for putting up with me. I really appreciate you. I really do. Yet again, congratulations to Stephen Curry. I'm sorry I can't play any sound or clips or anything like that, but NBC's got a tight stranglehold on their media rights deal, and they're flagging everything, folks. If you try to post something yourself, but congratulations to Stephen Curry. Congratulations to Steve Kerr. I don't hate Steve Kerr, contrary to what some people feel. He's the head coach of a professional basketball team. Folks like me exist to criticize when folks like him make decisions that make no damn sense. And for the last 2+ years, he's been doing that a lot. So here I am. Doesn't mean I hate him. I actually like him as an individual. Congratulations, Steve Kerr, gold medal winning head coach. And there you go. Thank you, Professor T. Saying the show is called Mr. Throwback. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that. A Touch of Madness also throwing that chat in as well. And good call, Armando Lara saying, great moment for Curry. Opinionated NBA fans who don't watch games are going to have a hard time hating on Curry after this one. Nice. Agreed. All right, folks. Have a great rest of the day. My partner in crime on NBA Coast to Coast, poor guy, man. Casey Stern. I love the brother. His dog of nearly 16 years passed away. And I don't know if you ever experienced that. And his dog would have been the same age as mine, my last one, who died about a year and a half ago to 2.5 years ago now. Damn, time flies. And it's one of the most gut-wrenching experiences ever. It's one of the most soul-crushing experiences ever when you have a dog that you actually genuinely are in love with die. It crushes you. So anyway, so Casey Stern's dealing with that right now. And so I'm not going to pressure him at all to come back. When he's ready, we'll resume NBA Coast to Coast. But I will continually doing this. Oh, and AC with a news drop here. Nothing confirmed, but apparently LeBron James won Olympics MVP. So, I don't hate it. Stephen Curry had a slow start to the Olympics. Makes sense. This was an awesome Olympics, right? This was a phenomenal Olympics. And look, what was really cool about it, even though these games were close, so cool that these last two games not only were exciting, not only were they drama filled, But it opened the door for Stephen Curry to shine when it mattered most. The global stage watched this man carry the USA to the gold medal. The Nike connection. Nick Fensky, a man who I've never met, but I still call a friend because we've interacted so much. You better come on the show soon. I've been waiting on you. Nick, he's an actor, by the way. True story. Nick Fensky writing in the chat. Steph made me cry today. He just put Team USA on his back the last 2 games. Looking forward to the season. Glad you're feeling better. I'm not quite there yet, but I guess I am feeling better than I was 2 days ago. But I'm still a mess. Steph was good and missed a throwback. The other lead, not so much. The thespian speaks. I respect it. All right, folks. Thank you. Have a great rest of the weekend. If it's hot where you are, hope you stay cool, stay safe, have fun. Stephen Curry. Correction. Wardell. Stephen Curry. Bravo, sir. Bravo, Team USA. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Love you, Steph. Bye-bye.